This league is just now getting some traction because of that young lady right there, Caitlin Clark.
She is the current favorite to win the 2025 WNBA MVP award.
Who's the most promising player in the WNBA? Caitlin Clark.
They clearly have a big three, right? It's Caitlin, first and foremost one.
Angel Reese just shocked everyone.
Angel Reese said during her podcast threatening, we'll go on strike.
Everyone was astonished by Angel Reese.
And she walks into year 2 as the face of the league,
withdrawing from the pursuit of WNBA glory as Caitlin Clark receives unprecedented accolades.
Caitlin last year, that was so phenomenal for me, was the pressure that she was under to compete, to be a spokeswoman, to be the headline player in a league.
Clark is quickly gaining respect from supporters and even her fiercest opponents as Reese turns her attention away from the court.
Because I'm hearing if y'all don't give us what we want, we sit out.
That's a possibility.
If you're a Caitlin Clark fan and want to give her your whole support in the comments, one star is fading while the other is gaining over.
I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Yeah, people are watching, not just because of one person. All right, but they're watching because of me too.
After a well-known collegiate career and a national title, Angel Reese entered the WNBA with a lot of buzz, and many people anticipated that she would dominate the professional level with the same tenacity and drive.
Sports leagues going on strike. Fans don't appreciate that at any level.
However, the current situation paints a totally different picture. It has become more evident in recent interviews and media appearances that Reese is not prioritizing the WNBA in her professional goals.
A lot of Angel Reese fans are not basketball fans, and they are proving it.
Stupid, arrogance, entitlement, racism, sexism will fly. I, me, I, me, I.
Angel Reese is much closer to being a content creator, a C-list, D-list celebrity than she is to being an actual basketball player.
Rather, she is establishing herself as a brand figure and media personality influencer.
She is the dominant player on the Chicago Sky team,
concentrating more on her fame chances and image endorsements than on playing hard every night. The most obvious indication of this change is the conversations around her changing role on the Chicago Sky team following Camila Cardoso's debut.
Camila Cardoso was taken 3rd in the draft ahead of Angel Reese. That tells you what the Chicago Sky thought about the two players.
Her teammate from South Carolina, as well as other significant additions, Reese's status as a star player is seriously in jeopardy. Reports suggest that she may play fewer minutes and be less crucial to the team's strategy than fans initially thought. Her own WNBA draft position of 7th overall raised eyebrows, particularly when her teammate Cardoso was selected 3rd overall.
He's making basically $75,000 a year on a rookie salary. What that doesn't tell you is the amount of money she's making from endorsement.
Draft before Angel Reese, which reveals the Chicago Sky's perception of the two players. This small but noteworthy difference demonstrates how even professional coaches and evaluators might not view Reese as the long-term star that was initially promised. In fact, the contrast between Cardoso's growing reputation and Reese's waning attention speaks volumes, as Reese's name is increasingly appearing in off-court endeavors, while Cardoso's name is linked to on-court impact, social media, gatherings, and sponsorship agreements.
Angel Reese fans are going to lose their minds over this.
For many WNBA fans and commentators, all of this depicts a player whose goals are changing away from the harsh competition and everyday grind of professional basketball and toward developing a broader lifestyle brand. Although Reese isn't publicly announcing her resignation, this seems like a subtle rejection of the league, but deeds scream louder than words.
In March, Angel Reese admitted the players could be, quote, sitting out if y'all don't give us what we want.
Angel Reese's future as a dominant WNBA force is now seriously doubtful, and her focus seems to be shifting away from the core of WNBA competition as other rising stars capture attention solely based on their game.
This league is just now getting some traction because of that young lady right there, Caitlin Clark. Man, if they go to a work stoppage, it could be disastrous.
Few rookies or even veterans in this league ever see the respect that Caitlin Clark is displaying as she charges forward.
A jogadora mais promissora da liga tirando você.
What's going on around one of the most telling moments occurred during an interview in Brazil, where Camila Cardoso, Angel Reese's own college teammate, was asked to name the best WNBA prospect right now without hesitation. Clark isn't just about skill, she's about leaving a lasting legacy. Her transition from college basketball to the pros has been smooth, and her reputation is growing faster than anyone could have imagined. Even players who once faced her as fierce rivals are now publicly praising her talent, demonstrating how widely acknowledged her abilities have become. Cardoso responded to Caitlin Clark with assurance.
Time to actually pay you the big deals. There will already be a championship culture in the DNA.
Remember that it was Caitlin Clark who defeated Cardoso in South Carolina in the Final Four, ending their undefeated season and dashing their hopes of winning a championship. This wasn't just a casual compliment from afar, it was a direct acknowledgement from a player who had witnessed Clark's dominance firsthand on the biggest stage in college basketball. Cardo was quick to acknowledge that Clark's game is just better than the others.
When she was asked about what success looks like for her next season, the answer was pretty easy with a mic drop moment.
Have you guys been explicit so far about wanting to win a championship this year? And
yeah, I mean, absolutely.
What does success then look like? I mean,
a championship.
Cardoso, who had played with Angel Reese during her college career, went on record to declare Clark the most dangerous and promising player in the league. This type of respect cannot be purchased or faked. Rather, it is earned through unwavering work, jaw-dropping performances, and undeniable skill. This moment was powerful because it cut across typical rivalries, where we often expect athletes to side with their former teammates or with those from their own programs.
I feel like everyone talks about it. I'll see it on social media. They'll be like, Caitlin has so strong muscles. And don't tell her I said that either. don't even mention that. Yeah. But I think her strength, I mean, she gets in the paint and she's able to bully her way in and finish strong at the basket. I mean, everyone talks about, once again, her three-point shooting, and we've all seen her passing, but I think her ability to get downhill and really just stay on balance and score the ball, I think is going to be great this year.
Caitlin Clark's ascent is made even more remarkable by the way she is changing the perception of what a rookie in the WNBA can accomplish. Typically, rookies spend their time acclimating to the speed and physicality of the professional game. Clark has done the exact opposite, from long-range threes that leave fans in awe to her accurate passing that cuts through even the toughest defenses. She has carried her college dominance into the professional arena, and her numbers, highlights, and leadership have analysts talking about MVP caliber potential, a discussion that most rookies aren't even close to having. But it's not just analysts and fellow players who are praising her.
Caitlin Clark pretty much shattering all expectations in her rookie season, set rookie season's scoring records, 761 points, 321 assists, breaking the record for total assists in WNBA history.
Coaches, fans, commentators, and even former players have gone on record to applaud what Clark is doing for the game. She is bringing record-breaking viewership-packing arenas and igniting a level of interest in the WNBA that many argue hasn't been seen in years. That impact stretches beyond stat sheets. It's about changing the landscape of women's basketball itself. Contrast that with Angel Reese, whose name is now more attached to endorsement deals and lifestyle headlines than game-changing performances. While Reese is grabbing attention off the court, Clark is letting her game do the talking, and it's working the admiration. Clark is receiving isn't just polite applause, it's genuine awe from people who know how hard it is to dominate at this level. As Clark continues to rack up accolades, the gap between her and Angel Reese grows more noticeable every week. One is rising on the strength of her game alone, the other is fading from the conversation when it comes to on-court dominance. And that difference is why Caitlin Clark is being praised so widely and deeply right now.
The next team, as we go through our WNBA preview, is the team that I know many of you are fascinated by. It's the team that I don't know what the odds are in the sports books up there in North Carolina, Mitch, but certainly nationally, the conversation when it comes to the WNBA surrounds the Indiana Fever, the second season of Caitlin Clark in the W, and how this team that's been retooled with a new coach, they've brought in some veteran players. You can make the argument they're in win now mode, combined with that young core that they still have predominantly on rookie contracts.
As we see these two pathways develop, Angel Reese leaning into the spotlight as a celebrity and Caitlin Clark solidifying her basketball dominance, it becomes impossible to overlook the growing gap between their professions. In a way, they just don't match. Even her most ardent fans are starting to recognize that Angel Reese's focus is no longer solely on honing her basketball skills over the past few months. What began as a competitive rivalry on the college hardwood is quickly changing into a story of two completely different legacies, and if you listen carefully, it's evident that the decisions each athlete makes now will affect how they are remembered not just for the upcoming season, but for decades to come. Ree has established herself as a cultural icon by signing big endorsement deals, walking the catwalk, appearing on the covers of prestigious magazines, and attending A-list celebrity events. She has also started fashion collaborations and made appearances at BET Awards.
Season to bring Caitlin up to speed to play defense against the defense that she's going to be.
She is a businesswoman, model, and public figure who has impact well beyond the basketball floor. To be clear, there's nothing intrinsically wrong with athletes building their brands. Superstars like Serena Williams, LeBron James, and even Shaquille O'Neal have built empires off the court while still being top athletes. The distinction is that these icons initially dominated their respective sports and used their athletic prowess as the cornerstone of their larger platforms. Even Reese's WNBA statistics show that she is still acclimating to the professional game rather than dominating it, and her on-court performances have not reached the elite level. In her case, it seems like she is attempting to avoid that crucial step. Her defensive influence, rebounding effectiveness, and shooting percentages haven't yet matched the dominance spectators saw during her LSU championship run, and her minutes could be decreasing because of the roster's changes, particularly with Camila Cardozo emerging as a potent interior force. Reese's role might continue to decline, which is a risky course for an athlete expecting to make a significant impact in a league as cutthroat as the WNBA. In the meantime, Caitlin Clark is establishing the guidelines for precisely how to strike a balance between publicity and skill this season in order to get Caitlin up to speed to play defense against the defense she will encounter by using her game to fuel her notoriety. Her endorsements, interviews, and media appearances are increasing dramatically, yes, but her incredible accomplishments on the hardwood are directly responsible for everything. The key to distinguishing substance from sizzle is that Clark doesn't need to chase attention away from the court because her on-court skill naturally commands attention. Every time she scores 30 points or dishing out double-digit assists, she creates headlines larger than any photo shoot could. With every game, Clark is demonstrating her worth as one of the greatest of all time. However, without supporting it with equal dominance on the court, Ree is beginning to rely more on sizzle, flash, fashion, and fame.
The rivalry between the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky was once strong. It had become dormant in recent years because neither team was good at the same time. That changed in a major way after the 2024 WNBA draft, when the Fever drafted Caitlin Clark at number 1, drafted Angel Reese with the number 7 pick.
If this trend keeps up, Ree's reputation will soon start to wane among ardent basketball supporters, who will instinctively gravitate toward players who are winning games where it matters most. Another significant distinction is how the league as a whole views her. Clark is gaining the respect of coaches, teammates, and fans, as well as the media. These individuals' opinions influence all-star picks, endorsements, and lasting legacies. When seasoned veterans and opponents publicly praise your abilities, everyone keeps bringing it up. Unmatched simply gathered a number of investors, much like Cardoso did for Clark, and it creates an indisputable story of excellence. Even worse, Ree's previous on-court altercations, which included heated exchanges and confrontations, are starting to overshadow her actual performances, raising concerns about her temperament and maturity as a player. The long-term ramifications of this are evident. If Clark keeps going in this direction, she will represent the WNBA.
Everybody keeps bringing up Unrivaled. Unrivaled's just got a bunch of investors.
Her blend of talent, modesty, and work ethic appeals to both new and old school purists, much like how players like Diana Taurasi Sue Bird and Maya Moore formerly carried the league. Conversely, Ree runs the risk of becoming a cautionary tale, a player with enormous promise who allowed distractions to weaken her game before reaching the highest level. Because in the end, basketball history remembers game changers and victors. If Ree doesn't change her approach quickly, she can end up being recognized more for fashion weeks and Instagram postings than for championship rings and record-breaking seasons. Clark is headed toward both.
If you go to the team store, the Indiana Fever's team store, you will see that they have a brand new t-shirt that they are selling. And that t-shirt says, "Every game is a home game." And then on the back, it says, "Now you know," with a sold out banner with all of their basically schedule. It's like a tour t-shirt and it says every game is a home game. They are leaning in to what we have known since last season. We knew that this was the Indiana Fever. We knew that they were breaking barriers. We knew that they were breaking records. We knew that they were selling out. We knew that they were causing other teams to move their games to other arenas. Now they're standing on it.
And don't worry, WNBA fans, experts, and decision makers are keeping a close eye on things and can see the gap widening every week.
The Indiana Fever will win the WNBA championship this year.
As the season progresses and the dust settles, the difference between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark is more apparent than ever. While one is reportedly becoming more interested in lights, cameras, and off-court celebrity, the other is working harder than ever, receiving widespread acclaim and changing the perception of what a rookie in the WNBA can achieve. The fact is straightforward. While Angel Reese is taking a back seat, Caitlin Clark is not only playing basketball, but is creating a legacy that will be discussed for centuries by both fans and pundits. Making headlines is what Caitlin Clark is doing. Fans are noticing that they're packing arenas, watching games at record levels, and making it clear who they think is propelling the WNBA to new heights. The praise and pure admiration all point to one thing. Clark is the player who is unquestionably defining this moment in women's basketball and possibly the decade ahead. She broke the record books and truly made the league her own. Now it's up to you to decide which route, one based on hard work and highlight reels, or one that veers towards short-term recognition but skips the grind of greatness, will endure. If you're a fan of Caitlin Clark and would like to express your unwavering support for her amazing journey in the comments section, let's demonstrate to the world how strong this movement is.
Hey everyone, it's Caitlin Clark. We're here at Media Day, year 2. It's going great. We're taking some great photos for you all. Stay tuned. They're coming your way.